Breaking news this morning on Jobless claims fewer Americans joined the unemployment line than were expected. We're going to go straight to Michael Casey, who's going to be joining us. I'm Kelsey Hubbard. Thanks for joining us here on the News Hub this morning. Michael, thanks for being here. Not a trend. Last week the numbers spiked up, and it looks like this week we got a little bit of a reprieve.
Yeah, because last week we had this big jump to 385,000, which was quite an anomaly compared to this general 350, 360 number that we've been seeing for some time. And of course, you know, it came around the time of those very poor jobs report that followed the following Friday. So a lot of concern about the labour market. Big questions about whether or not last Friday's jobs report was an anomaly or not. So the fact that we've now dropped back down to 346,000, which is good news, of course, is helping those bullish perspectives that say, you know what, last Friday or March's numbers really weren't that much of a trend. Maybe the labour market is in fact improving.
So people are really trying to hang on to some of the data coming out and really see if we're getting a grip on that recovery.
Of course, the Fed is the most important element of this, as always. So we're just watching what the Feds read on this. There's a big debate going on within the Fed, as we found out yesterday in the minutes from the most recent meeting, over when they should or shouldn't pare back on the big bond buying program that's been a major support to the market. So
I know you're also watching, right, the yen and Dow numbers as well?
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, it's like two synchronicity, if you like, in these important round target numbers. I'm an FX guy, so we're just watching the yen at the moment. We're very close to the 100 mark, and we've been there for like 3 days now. So it's kind of painful Chinese water torture to some extent. We got up with, I think, as high as 99.83, but we just unable to break through it. There's a feeling that a lot of people are protecting their positions because they put options in to protect their positions around these big numbers, and so people don't want to trigger those options. Does it mean they have to come back and start selling the yen to pick it up? And so those that wouldn't want that to happen are buying the yen to protect it, and that's preventing it from rising higher. But the general consensus is that we will at some point break through that number, and that there will probably be some sort of impact when that happens. This is all because of the Bank of Japan's aggressive new monetary policy, which has seen weakening the yen. And this is happening in sync with the Dow. Another very strong day yesterday. We've had 3 of them now this week, pushing up in the range of the 15,000 mark, which is quite remarkable given how far we've already come.
And given today's numbers that are stronger on the unemployment front,
we'll have
might
to see how things go. But
continue.
Yeah, we're a couple hundred points away from that, so not quite as close as we are for the yen, but it is, you know, a nice round number to get excited about.
All right, well, I'm excited, I know, and I'm excited about the 3 stocks you're watching today.
Metro PCS is one of them. Deutsche Telekom, as our viewers would know, has been attempting to buy this company. This is through its T-Mobile unit. A lot of resistance from shareholders who said it was too much of a stingy deal. A couple of big players, including some proxy advisors, have said don't take the deal to shareholders. So Deutsche Telekom came back and sweetened the deal last night. Most importantly, reducing the interest cost, the debt burden that the new company would have to bear, which means the equity value of what the shareholders are going to take in that deal will rise. Shares are up a little higher, but there's still some doubt as to whether or not this is enough to win over those proxies who are opposed to the deal at this stage. Second stock, Yum Brands, my favourite name too. Having a hard time in China at the moment. They came out and just said that they had weak earnings there, weak revenue in China over the last quarter, but just as important, or rather just in March. But most importantly, very recently, they've had a big scare, of course, in their KFC outlets over the avian flu. And so not particularly good news there for Yum Brands. China is a huge part of their portfolio, very important. And anything that sort of smacks of bird flu doesn't tend to do very well.
Everyone remembers
chicken sales,
the 2003 SARS epidemic. So anything like that scares people. And I know you're looking at some retailers. You have a twofer for us.
Well, it's actually a few of them. We've got it's same store sales today. So we get the monthly reports out from various retailers on how things are looking on a store-by-store comparison basis. Costco's were out. They were up 4% their sales, so that's presumably better, but it was shorter than what people were expecting, which was a 5.2% rise. Gap also out. Those fell by 2.1%. That's sharply down from 8% gain from a month or a year ago. So this is, I mean, there's some middling numbers. This is often the case in these. Pier 1 also had their results out, and people aren't particularly happy with the outlook that they're giving on revenue. So all up, not particularly great numbers out of the retailers yet, but there's quite a few more to come, so we'll have to see how that goes.
All right, Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
We appreciate
Kelsey.
you being here, and of course you can catch Michael and all the market scanning at 10:30 on the Markets Hub. You don't want to miss it.